When we last checked in on how things were looking with ABC and Alexi Hawley's The Rookie, Nathan Fillion, Eric Winter, Lee Seth Chavez, and Brent Huff were doing their part to ensure that folks didn't forget the 8th season would be kicking off on Tuesday, January 6. However, in case that wasn't quite enough, ABC released a new look, possibly another teaser trailer, but it could be the official trailer, that focuses on the series going global when it returns, while dialing up the big-time action. In addition, we've included the previously released look at the cast portraits and group image that was released. ABC's The Rookie stars Shawn Ashmore as Wesley Evers, Alyssa Diaz as Angela Lopez, Melissa O'Neill as Lucy Chen, Mikia Cox as Nyla Harper, Nathan Fillion as John Nolan, Jenna Dewan as Bailey Noon, Richard T. Jones as Wade Gray, Eric Winter as Tim Bradford, Lee Seth Chavez as Selena Juarez, Derek Augustine as Miles Penn, Disney/John Russo. The Rookie/SDCC. Fillion and Hawley preview Season 8 and more. I have friends who are good actors in their own right. They're calling me saying, "Hey man, my daughter just turned 11, and she and her friends are all crazy about The Rookie. Can I please have a birthday with you?" I love that. Fillion shared about the show's success with multi-generational viewing audiences during his San Diego Comic-Con, SDCC, 2025 panel earlier this summer. I think that ultimately television, specifically television with lots of episodes with characters that you can really invest in, has become comfort food for people, added Hawley. There's 1,000 shows on the air, but it does feel like people sort of grab lots of shows that they look forward to watching. They're an escape. I take that very seriously. It doesn't mean that bad things don't happen on our show, that there aren't stakes, that we don't go dark sometimes. People really look to us as an important storm. After a sizzle reel was screened, spotlighting the trip to Prague in the Season 8 opener, as well as a number of new and returning cast members. In the first episode we go to Prague and John becomes James Bond in the episode. We have a lot of exciting stories for the cast this season, Fillion teased. Here's a look at the official image gallery that was released from this weekend's SDCC panel. Imagine taking the chaos of the Los Angeles streets and dropping it into a foreign country where the badge doesn't grant you immunity, and the rules of engagement completely change. We aren't just talking about a patrol beat anymore. We are talking about a total change of scenery. The wait is finally over, and the rumors were true. The latest preview has dropped a bombshell that changes the entire DNA of the show. John Nolan is leaving the comfort of the LAPD jurisdiction, and he's not going alone. If you thought the cartel arcs were intense, you haven't seen anything yet. Today we are breaking down exactly how The Rookie is going global and why this shift in Season 8 is about to dial up the action to a level we have never seen before. Welcome back, everyone. If you've been following the breadcrumbs left by the writers, you knew a shakeup was coming. But I don't think anyone predicted a shift this massive. We are looking at the official preview details for The Rookie Season 8. And the headline is literally, Go Global. Now, for 7 seasons, we've watched Officer John Nolan grow from the oldest rookie on the force to a training officer who can handle just about anything LA throws at him. But that's the key, he's mastered LA. To keep the show fresh and the stakes high, the creative team had to remove the safety net. By taking the team international, they strip away their backup, their radio frequencies, and their legal protections. In this video we're going to analyze what this global status means for the plot, how it impacts the relationships, especially Chin Ford, and we're going to look at the budget upgrades that are allowing for this massive spike in action. Let's get right into the meat of it. The core premise of this new season is the international storyline. Usually, when police procedurals go abroad, it's for a single event episode. You know the type, they go to Mexico or Guatemala for 1 hour and then come back. However, the preview suggests this isn't a one-off trip. This looks like a multi-episode arc, potentially spanning the first half of the season. The narrative seems to revolve around a joint task force operation that requires off-the-books policing. Why does this matter? Because John Nolan is a character defined by his moral compass and his adherence to procedure. He believes in doing things by the book. But what happens when you are in a country where the book doesn't exist? This sets up a fascinating internal conflict for Nolan. He's going to be forced to make split-second decisions without the guidance of a sergeant or a watch commander. We are likely going to see a grittier version of Nolan, one who has to rely on instinct rather than protocol. The second half of our title today mentions dialing up the action, and looking at the production leaks, they aren't kidding. The Rookie has always been good at balancing humor with police work, but The Rookie Season 8 appears to be leaning heavily into the action thriller genre. We're talking about set pieces that look more like a Mission Impossible movie than a midweek cop show. The preview hints at high-speed pursuits that aren't limited to police cruisers. We're seeing boats, helicopters, and off-road tactical vehicles. This elevation in action serves a purpose. It raises the threat level. In LA, if things go south, backup is 2 minutes away. In this new global setting, if the team gets pinned down, they are on their own. This tension is going to keep viewers glued to the screen because the danger feels real. It's not just about arresting a suspect anymore. It's about survival in hostile territory. Of course, we can't talk about the new season without discussing the squad. How does a global manhunt affect the dynamics we love? Let's talk about Lucy Chen and Tim Bradford. Putting these two in a high-stress foreign environment is the perfect pressure cooker for their relationship. When you are overseas on a dangerous mission, the emotional stakes get higher. You rely on your partner more than ever. The fans are expecting this international storyline to force them to confront fears about losing one another, which usually leads to some incredible character moments. And what about Nyla Harper and Lopez? They are the detectives, the strategists. Taking them out of the precinct and putting them in the field where they have to interact with foreign intelligence agencies or local warlords gives them a chance to show off their skills in a completely new way. It refreshes the dialogue and the conflict. To wrap this up, the move to take the Rookie global is a bold risk, but it's exactly the kind of evolution a long-running show needs. It prevents the storylines from becoming repetitive and allows the actors to flex different muscles. We are looking at a season that promises higher budgets, bigger explosions, and much deeper character development for John Nolan and the rest of the team. It's not just about patrolling the streets anymore. It's about saving the world, one episode at a time.